My child, can you tell me about the stipulations? I'm on supervised visits in Texas, and I believe it was out of criminal activity. I was in jail on false charges, and
I'm sorry. I'm having a hard time understanding you. There's like an echo.
I'm sorry.
Now what? You're needing to know about violations that happened while you were incarcerated?
Yes, with the family code and my rights. I was arrested on false charges, and the CP.
Okay. I'm sorry. That's not anything to do with family law.
I wasn't finished. And while I was arrested on false charges, my child custody rights were taken. The CPS worker told me he was taking my child custody rights away and started a process of taking them away. And when he incriminated himself and didn't allow me to go to court, I have a wealthy abuser. And when he incriminated himself, that's bribing a lot of people and causing a lot of damage. When he incriminated himself, he pulled out like CPS was not involved. And now I'm on supervised visits, and they don't state in the case why they put me on supervised visits and won't tell me why. And I wasn't at court. 2 times the other parent didn't come to court, and they did not let me appear at court when they didn't come to cover for the party not coming.
Okay, so what is it you're wanting to do?
This is a attorney's office?
Yes.
Okay, what are my rights? Are you able to help, and what can we do when all this is going on in the family law?
Are you asking for help getting your children back, or are you asking for an action against CPS?
I'm not quite sure. I'm wanting advocacy, legal advocacy, if people are abusing their power and committing crimes to sabotage my rights as a parent.
Yeah, that's not anything that we handle. We don't do that. Now, if you're wanting help getting your children back, getting the CPS taken care of as far as the charges against you that are pending with CPS, getting custody of your children, something like that, that's the part of it we would handle. As far as going after a government entity, that's not something we handle.
Well,
you'd be better off looking at a civil rights attorney or something among them.
Well, I would have to put into the. I would have to, they would need evidence that I'm being railroaded. I mean, we would have to present that which is why my child custody rights were violated. That is family law. If we're getting violated by the government, we no longer have rights.
Right. We don't handle if you think your rights are violated by the government.
For example, if my rights were taken for family law out of corruption.
Right. We wouldn't handle anything like that.
Okay, well, do you have any education on, in the state of Texas, what are your rights if they're taking your child custody rights away and placing you on supervised visits?
Okay, again, we don't handle anything to do with civil rights violations.
Supervised visits? This is family supervised visits?
What we can help you with is if you were wanting to change it from supervised to regular visits.
Right, but I wanted to know my rights. I don't know if I would be able to.
Right, I can schedule you a consultation for that.
Okay, but I wanted to know before the consultation to make sure that you guys have the education. If I'm placed on supervised visits, do they normally give you stipulations for it, or is it permanent, or how does the supervised visits go?
We would just have to look at the orders that are in place.
Oh, I just would like to know how it typically goes in the state of Texas when a parent is placed on supervised visits.
It just depends on a lot of factors. So we don't give generalizations. We give specific legal advice based on your orders.
Okay. So,
okay.
Do they typically give you an attorney when child custody rights are at stake, or how does that work in the state of Texas?
Okay, I can schedule you that consultation for Friday if you like. It's a $300.
I just wanted to know because I just wanted to know. Yes, this normally when I call people on my phone, is it $300 an hour?
It's $300 an hour, but it's $300 for the consultation.
Yes, that's normally how it works. The people that Yes, that's normally how it works for the people I call on my phone, and they don't really give me a lot of education. Okay, well, thank you. I'll consider that.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
You're
Best of
welcome.
luck to you.
Thanks. Bye.
Pleasure speaking with.
My name is Kiana Clark.
How are you doing,
Fine.
ma'am? Awesome. What brings you to call us today?
I'm having there's some corruption regarding my child custody rights, and I wanted to see if you guys can help me. I wanted to know, in the state of Texas, do they require if child custody rights are at stake to set up, do they have to give you an attorney?
So, I do want to let you know I'm not an attorney, so I can't give you any legal advice. But what I can do is get some information based on what's going on, and then we can schedule you time with an attorney if this is something we can help you with. So what exactly is going on?
Okay. I had my child custody rights were sabotaged out of corruption. CPS worker, they came in and then came out. When they incriminated themselves. And then the court didn't allow me to, I'm on supervised visits now, and they won't tell me why they put me on the supervised visits or adhere to them, multiple parties.
Okay. So, explain to me a little bit about, like, what you're trying to achieve, I guess.
Well, I would needed some kind of advocacy from the law firm, the attorney's office. What do you recommend?
So, like I said, ma'am, I can't give you any legal advice or recommend anything for you. Right now, it sounds like this is going to be a case that we're not going to be able to specialize in and help you with due to some of the situations. What I would suggest you doing is call the local bar association in your state, and then they would be able to guide you in the right direction. Okay, ma'am?
Okay, this is family law, and you're denying me services?
So we practice in family law, yes, but this particular case is not going to be something we're going to be able to provide.
Yeah, I've been having that year, sure. You got to see it to believe it. Okay, thank you. Yes, I'd like to know if I can get some information. I want you provide family law?
Yes, ma'am, that's what we do.
Okay, I think the court violated my rights, so I wanted a couple questions answered, and then when in the state of Texas, when your child custody rights are at stake, or when they're putting you on supervised visits and you're indigent, are they required to give you an attorney?
Well, so first of all, what's your name, ma'am?
Okay, are you able to answer that question?
Well, I can try to help you, but I need to know what your name is.
Okay, it's Kiana, Keyana.
Okay, and your last name?
Clark, Clark.
Okay, and what county was your child custody hearing in?
Dallas.
Okay, is it a modification or is it original order?
I guess it would be a modification. When they set up supervised visits, and it was a temporary order, and they couldn't make up their mind they told me it was that the order went back to my regular child custody rights, and then it was started again, so they couldn't make up their mind what was going on, and I'm very unclear. That's why I had some questions before I wanted a little information, and then.
Unclear. So in order for me to kind of assist you, I kind of have to know where you're at in the grand scheme of things. So did you have a final order previous to this current court case?
Well, I'm on supervised visits. Can supervised visits be a final order?
Okay. So
is it possible? For supervised visits to be a final? Okay.
So, have you been to court before the temporary order hearing? Was there a previous order?
I wasn't allowed to appear at my court date 2 times when I went, and then we had a court date, and they didn't give me any education. And then she said she took my child custody rights away. Then it was retracted on it. Then I had my rights again, and then it was taken again when I was in jail on false charges on April 1st. No, it was April 2nd, 2019. So I wasn't even at court when they took my child custody rights away. They claimed from a judge we can't find now. But I'm just trying to get legal information. In the state of Texas, I've been asking multiple times, will they take your child custody rights away and put you on supervised visits and not give you an attorney if you're indigent?
Well, that would depend on what was filed and how it was filed and where it was filed and how you were notified. I mean, there's numerous different things. So what our attorneys would need from you in order to give you your legal advice that you're seeking, they're going to need a copy of the order, right? A copy of the temporary order, because it sounds like you've had previous orders to this temporary.
Does it sound like there's something amiss? Does it sound like something's amiss if they put you on supervised visits and don't tell you what you've done? Does it sound like my rights are getting violated? Do they normally set you up with an advocate?
They can't give you legal advice based upon just that.
I'm sorry?
They have to have the facts. They cannot give you legal advice just based upon what you're saying. They would need to see a copy of the orders that you're talking about, right? Whether it's a temporary order or whether it's a ruling from the judge.
Oh, so you can't, that's normal in the state of Texas to not give you an advocate or any representation or any stipulations and take your child custody right?
They would have to see okay. You're asking for assistance in getting the information that you're wanting, and I'm trying to assist you in doing that so that an attorney can help you. I'm trying. I'm happy to help you. I'm happy to set a consultation so that you can talk about your matter.
Oh, I'm just trying to figure out if I don't know. I want to know that the education that you have. I don't know why. This is just completely random attorneys. Yes, I wanted to know the scope in your education before I paid for a consultation and all of that. And if you have no education on the court system.
There would be Mark Scroggins, who's board certified in family law, been practicing for over 30 plus years.
Yeah, and I want a little bit of that feedback and know before I pay. I would like to know before I pay that he does have education in his law firm.
I'd be happy to send you the link to our website so that you're more than welcome to look at it. Look at all.
No, I wanted to talk to the attorney and get feedback on his education and how he knows the law. So he's unwilling to give me any education or any. Okay, ma'am. I'll try again. Thank you. It's been going on years. Mm-hmm. Bye. Yes, is this a family law firm?
Yes. How can we help you?
Yes. I'd like to know. In the state of Texas, are you? Do you have? Can I meet with an attorney? Do you have free consultations, or how does that work?
I can send you a consult over the phone if you'd like. And if it's a brief consult, there's no fee. But if there's any documents you have to review, or it's over 30 minutes, then yes, the consult does start at $100.
Okay, so I do have a question. In the state of Texas, when family law, are they required to give you an attorney if you're indigent when your child custody rights are at stake?
I wouldn't be able to answer that. That's more of an attorney question.
Do you have an attorney available?
Yeah, I can see if I can take your information and see if she's available. Give me 1 second.
Go. So the attorney's not available now?
I'd have to take your information and then see if one of the attorneys is available.
Okay.
And then I'm so sorry, what was your first name?
It's Kiana, Key. That's correct.
Okay, well, I'm very sorry to hear that. We can certainly assist you. What I would recommend is that you get a copy of the legal document.
Oh, I have some question. With the family court in the state of Texas, do they give you an attorney if you're indigent, if your child custody rights are at stake?
The only time I'm aware that they do appoint attorney is on termination and when you're facing contempt. But unfortunately, we do not do pro bono work, but you can certainly try legal aid.
Okay, I just had questions to see. I'm not asking if it was
We can't answer them without your file. I'm so sorry.
Oh, I just wanted to know the state, before I wanted to get your education and, feedback on the direction that we'll need to take with your law firm.
Unfortunately, we cannot give you any legal advice unless...
I'm not asking legal. Oh, ma'am, this is kind of odd. I just, when I call attorneys, they don't want me to know the rights and what we would do as attorneys. It would be hard for you to gather the situation. She hung up. Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, this is not a nonprofit business, so we do have to charge for the consultation, and we will need you to bring in your file. Otherwise, we're not able to advise you on the direction of your case.
I wanted to know how you could help me, and if I can't tell you what's going on and get feedback on what direction that we would need to take, I would need to know what crimes are being committed to sabotage my rights as a parent, and then as a law firm, what you could do to help me. If the law firm is not...
More than happy to give you guidance and direction, but I would need your file.
Okay, but I do have questions so we can see what is actually happening with the corruption. If you're not unwilling to answer the questions of the corruption, then how are we going to know how we're going to move forward to combat the situation? And then you can give me a price and all of that. I waited to speak with an attorney, so if we can't, come up to a common ground and let me give you the feedback, and then we can see how my rights were violated, then we can know what steps to take.
Well, that would require a meeting with an attorney.
I was told that you were attorney.
Well, I'm not the one that's doing this consultation, but we have somebody for you. It would just have to be tomorrow, and our consultation fees are $100.
Okay, so what's the name of this law firm?
Is there anything else I can help you with? Do you want me to give you the phone number to legal aid?
What's the name of the law firm? You don't know?
Do you need our address, or how can I help you?
Do you know the name of your law firm?
Why do you need the name, ma'am?
You don't want me to know the name of the law firm I'm calling?
Why do you need to know it? Because you called it.
Well, if you don't know, and if you're playing games and you're the law firm, why don't you know the name of your own law firm? And then you were an attorney. She told me attorney would call me back, and then you're not an attorney. So you're not making sense. This is why I haven't been able to get an attorney for years. You have to see it to believe it. So I don't know why you would be rude and not want me to know the name of your law firm.
Let me pass you to someone else that might be able to help you. One moment. This is Miss Amber Simmons. She's also an attorney. Hi, Miss Clark.
Ma'am, never mind. I want to call someone that at least has their lie straight. Yes, I have some questions with representation. I believe some crimes have been committed to sabotage my rights as a parent. And I want to speak with an attorney about it for representation.
Absolutely. I can definitely help you schedule a consultation. Can I go ahead and start with getting your full name, please?
Can I speak with an attorney? I would like some education on some different things and actually speak with an attorney. I assume the consultation cost?
Yes, ma'am. Absolutely. I can definitely go ahead and schedule.
Yes. How much is the cost of it?
The first consultation is free.
Oh, okay. The first consultation is free. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, let me try that. Normally they charge me an astronomical rate for the consultations.
No, the first consultation we are offering for free, and at the time of your consult, the attorney would give you a quote of how much it would charge to go ahead and help you to represent you. Okay,
and do you have any feedback on your family law attorney? So if I'm getting railroaded and the government is sabotaging my rights as a parent and there's a lot of conspirators, what can the law firm do? I mean, I don't really know my rights. I haven't really been educated. I wasn't given an attorney when they put me on supervised visits. I was forced to represent myself. Do they allow that in the state of Texas?
I'm not sure. What I can go ahead and help you do is schedule a consultation so you can speak to an attorney, and then one of our family attorneys could answer the questions for you.
Okay, let's do that.